Let's go. Welcome to the Cold Truth Podcast. Unfiltered conversations, raw opinions, no BS. Today we got a brand new voice headed to the state capitol. Senator-elect Justin Pope from Pope, Mississippi, who just won the special election for Senate District 24 after a hard-fought runoff. Justin, congratulations. Coming off that 2023 run for Panola County Chancery Clerk and now stepping into Senator David Jordan's seat after 33 years. What made you say this is the time to run for the Senate?
Man, it's a hard question, but an easy question. A lot of times we run because people tell us to, or say, "Hey, I want to do this, I want to try it." But for me, I stopped running and started listening. And what I mean by that is, I just started listening to God. I've learned that when you listen to God and He tells you to do something, He's gonna make it where no matter what people throw at you or what happened, He got your back. But when you do something just because you're doing it out of spite or anything it's not gonna go your way. So for me, I just stopped running and started listening to Him. And man, it's just been, I think it was just already in me. And once I started listening to Him, I just said, it's time for us to do it.
Okay, that sounds good. On your political journey, you've called yourself a political newcomer. What were the biggest lessons or toughest challenges from your 2023 Chancery Clerk race that helped you win this Senate seat?
Man, with Chancery Clerk, with that being a county, and I'm being from Panola County, you had to get a county in Panola County. You had to work all of Panola County, in which I live in Panola, so that was a task that I didn't feel like was going to be hard because I think people had already seen what I can do. They knew me and knew my character. But when I jumped in for Senate, that's over a district, and that's like 3 districts with Panola, Tallahatchie, and LaFleur.
Yes.
So it's like 52,000 people. Ain't nowhere in the world I know that many people. So for me, it learned that if you stay true to your character, people can speak positive things about you. I always say, bad news travel quick, but good news travel slow. And one thing I love about stuff traveling slow, it stays the same. So it helped me learning, staying myself, staying true to my character. It helped me for this Senate run.
Gotcha. Your personal motivation, with your background being in healthcare administration at Progressive Health Group and local government experience, what drove you to jump into state politics right now, especially in this special election?
I think I said in the beginning, I just started listening, but also I feel like a lot of times people don't understand where you come from. With me being from a small town, we used to being counted out. But I always ask people like this, even when I was doing Chancery, when I ran for Chancery, it's 2 types of people out there. You got people that cause problems, people that help solve problems. And for me, I don't want to be a problem causer. I want to be a person that helps solve the problem. And that's why I decided to jump in this to help solve some of the problems we got.
Okay. Your local roots and district representation. Coming from the small town of Pope, Mississippi, how do you plan to balance the rural needs of Panola County with interests of more urban or agricultural areas in LaFleur and Tallahatchie counties?
Coming from a small town like Pope, this is how I look at things right here. We forgot about collaborations. A lot of times we don't want to collab people in what we're trying to do. But being from Pope, being on Gleason Road, growing up with my granddaddy, we used to raise hogs and we used to kill them. So when we killed a hog, we used to hang it, gut it, smoke it, everything. But everybody on the road came together and got some. So it was a neighborhood that came together and helped raise the hog. So now bringing what I have, my roots from Pope, that's going to help us propel in Panola, LaFleur, and Tallahatchie, getting us all to come together and work together for a common goal. I think people don't understand that we're all going through something. It's just we don't talk about it. But if we can bring more of us together, watch and see what we can do.
Absolutely. Making the district heard. You talked a lot about making District 24 a stronger and more unified voice in Jackson. How are you going to make sure everybody, business owners, educators, undeserved communities, gets heard up there?
Well, see, that's where a lot of us mess up. You kept saying you, but it's not about me, it's about us. We got to come together. It's about what are we going to do? Are we going to show up? I can go out there and fight for us, but are we going to come up to the plate when we go out there and do it? Take, for example, we fight for people to have voters' right, but then we have a short stack of people coming out to vote. But we got to come together. It ain't about what I'm going to do. It's about what are we going to do together collectively. If we can show people how we can work together, that's all I'm saying. It's about collaborative. A lot of people don't understand. We are designed to be divided. But if we can work together, watch and see what happens. Division called confusion.
Absolutely.
Working together called unity. And that's what we're going to bring. And with me, it's never going to be about me. It's always going to be what can we do together.
Sounds great. Going into your medical field and your healthcare expertise, you've got real experience running rural healthcare at Progressive Health Group. What specific reforms or funding priorities do you see for Mississippi's healthcare system, especially rural access in the mental health crisis you highlighted on your campaign trail?
Right now, we know mental health and just healthcare overall is very bad here in Mississippi. That's one thing that we're trying to do. I'm trying to look at other states and how they do it, and that's why I'm talking about everything for me is about collaboration and bringing more people on. So, and that's also working with the ones that are down there already in Jackson, because sometimes people might hear, but people don't know. There's a difference between listening and hearing.
Absolutely.
So, and also about feeling. I want them to feel how bad mental health is here. With me working in the mental health field, they don't know how bad it is. Even for a person that's been in mental health, it is bad out there. But if they don't get help, it's going to get worse. So if we can get more people on the side of Republican, Democrat to just come together and understand really how bad mental health is, then they can see it. Going to some of these low poverty counties and just see how bad it is, because we don't have that many of it around here. And just seeing what we can do together and bringing it up.
Okay. Medicaid expansion in rural hospitals. A lot of rural hospitals are struggling. What's your stance on Medicaid expansion in Mississippi, and how will you push for more rural healthcare funding in a Republican-led legislature?
The key thing is going to be collaboration and communication. So that's what a lot of people have to understand is communication and with collaborations. We do need the Medicaid expansion. That's one thing we do need, but also we need for us to work together. We can't talk about our local hospitals and then go somewhere else. If we stop using our local hospitals, then we're going to dry it up. You can take where I work at now. I work at Batesville, then you got Oxford, which is about 30 minutes. You have San Antonio, about 30 minutes. But if I bypass Batesville, I'm chancing my life for 30 minutes. Give your local hospital a chance, but also you can't just talk about it either. We have to work together and try to fix the problem instead of always be the problem. That's what we need to ask ourselves. What are we willing to do?
Okay, sounds good. Mental health crisis. Mississippi ranks near the bottom nationally for mental health services. What specific legislation or budget changes would you prioritize in your first term to tackle this?
I'm gonna be honest, with the first term coming up and this thing just being over in December, my biggest thing is gonna be collaboration and also communicate. Just getting them to knowing who I can talk to, knowing what type of partnership we can build up there so we can help this thing. Because for me going in the first year, it's all about learning.
Yes, absolutely.
I can't just go in and say I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna say something I'm gonna do and I know I'm not gonna be able to. I'm trying to go in, learn, meet people, and get them to understand what we got going on so we can build some type of partnership to help us. It's hard to do stuff by yourself.
Absolutely.
You always need some type of help.
Okay. Education and youth. You've pushed for expanding career tech programs in high school and addressing mental health in schools. With our state's ongoing education funding struggles, what concrete steps will you take in your first session to make it happen?
That's the same thing I just said about the same thing I just said about the other. But the one thing I do want to do is bring our school boards and our superintendents together.
Yes.
Because I think they know everybody. Because when we come local officials and everything, people come and talk to us, tell us same. We hear almost the same thing. But I think if we put more of us together, we can come up with a common goal. And that's what we're going to do. Just bringing more people together and trying to attack this instead of just one person going there. We can bring a whole table of people together.
Absolutely. Economic development and keeping young people. District 24 has seen population decline in a lot of rural and agricultural areas. How do you plan to bring in jobs and keep young talent from leaving? Are you for things like tax incentives and for businesses or workplace training partnerships?
Yes, that's one of the main things. I remember Job Corps has a program down there that they let kids come in and shadow, and that's one way. But also, I think we look at things different. Sometimes you can leave home, because I tell folks you don't know what you have until you lost it. So sometimes it's good to leave home and go and see what everybody else offer, but then also bring that same thing back home to see how can I incorporate this back home, especially for me. Went to school in North Carolina, lived in Memphis, man, we travel a lot. So every time I'm traveling, I'm looking at new things and say, what is one way I can bring back home? Because I want to keep my kids here. You know, my kids, I got a mom that's in education, my wife in education. Now my oldest daughter is going to education.
Okay.
And so that's one reason I want to keep them home, but I want home to be a place that they can enjoy.
Okay. Your predecessor's legacy. You're following Senator David Jordan after his 33-year run. What parts of his legacy do you want to build on, and where do you think it's time for a fresh approach?
One thing I can say about Mr. Jordan is, man, he is a strong, powerful giant of a man. He to do 33 years in the Capitol, that right there is a stance of his own. And that's one thing I was trying to tell people. You know, we can replace a person, but we can't replace the knowledge. And that's the thing that I want to make sure I hold dear with Mr. Jordan, you know, staying in contact with him, you know, because he has some great ideas and he's met some great people. So just staying in contact with him and showing the strength that he showed, because he endured a lot in those 33 years. And he showed people, once you endure, you got to keep fighting. And that's the one thing I want to keep showing District 24. You know, even though Mr. Jordan wanted to retire, you know, he still he's showed us how we can keep fighting. And I just want him to know that we're going to keep fighting for him. And District 24 is going to keep climbing. You know, he's a little older, I'm a little younger, but only thing we're doing is we're not replacing, we're improving. It's just like Ford did with the F-50, the F-150, F-250. They never replaced Ford, they just kept improving. And that's what we're gonna keep doing, because it's gonna be somebody else that come after me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right now, I'm going to open the floor for you to just speak on anything that we haven't covered so far. Anything you want to talk about, any plans that you have, any aspiration that you have for the seat, anything you want to talk about?
You know, the one thing we always need to remember, this is a marathon. It's not a race. A lot of times we go in things, we want to go at it fast, but sometimes we need to pace ourselves, because if we go too fast, we miss out on some great things. And that's what that's what I've learned about Mississippi. This is a marathon, not a race. And also, we got to be able to work together. We've lost a lot of battles, but we ain't finna lose this war. And as long as we can show people we can work together and show that we're going to work toward a common goal, watch and see what we do in District 24. Because a lot of people don't understand how rich District 24 is. Man, we have some of the best lands.
Can you explain the districts that you're covering and how would they all work together?
Well, you think about this. Listen, we all have the same thing in common, but we don't talk about it to each other. And I feel like that's where we can come together and work. So we got supervisors in each district. That's one way we get every supervisor from each district, from each county to come together and talk. So if we can start having even semi-annual, we can meet twice a year. You know, just talk about ideas of what we want to do. And that's some of the things I want to do.
Yes.
I want to bring our supervisors together. I want to bring our economic development guys together. I want to bring our mayors together. I want to bring our school boards, superintendents, because, man, it's something, as I was traveling this road, I saw some things that we do in Panola that would do great in Tallahatchie,
yes,
but probably won't do well in LaFleur. But then I saw some things do well in LaFleur that would do great in Panola, but not in Tallahatchie. But I think if we can all work together, that thing gonna work out.
Has that been one of the biggest issues? Have they always worked together, or have they been individually ran?
Tallahatchie and LaFleur been together for years, but Panola just got added 2 years ago when they redistrict.
Okay.
So the same time, and it's kind of funny, the same time, because the same time I put my name in the hat for Chancery, and I had filled the paperwork out, got my signatures, and was ready. They had just put out, they was running for Senate. The Senate district, we just got added to District 24.
Okay.
And I just said, man, that's why I say I listen to God, but I was torn because I felt like it was something like Chancery, when I didn't get the victory, I wasn't upset.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we'll just get it next time.
Yeah.
But when I ran for Senate, it just felt different. A lot of people don't know how that thing played out. Okay, so in the first election in November for the Senate, I wasn't in there. They had no. I was number 3. The top 2 got to go. It was between Miss Brown and Mr. Jason Coquick. So around 3 o'clock, I got a text message that said it was a clerical error, and that's how I got back into the top 2.
Really?
Because but the thing about this was, I had prayed and said, Lord, now if it ain't for me, let it be. But then I said, Lord, you said it was for me now. But I went to sleep. But as I was sleeping that night, the next morning when I woke up, he had already changed everything around. And then jump on up to December at 3 o'clock. I was watching this pod on this church podcast, and man, he was talking about victory. He was talking about only thing these folks had to do was a football game. He said, man, God said only thing he had to do was take a knee. But they ran one play and the guy fumbled the ball and lost the game because of that. Man, I went home. He said, the only thing God would want us to do is sometimes just get in our victory stance and just give it to him.
Absolutely.
I went home at 3 o'clock that day, December the 4th, 3 o'clock. Got in my victory stance and told the Lord, thank you. This before the election even came to an end. And I ain't worried no more. And that's why I said sometimes we just got to learn to listen to him.
Yes, yes.
And put ourselves out the way and listen to him. And that's what people got to understand. When I go to the Capitol, man, you just don't know. We're going down there to change them, not them to change us. Because they talk about so many people. They said once you get to the Capitol, you go change. Nah.
Yeah, not you.
Nah.
If anybody knows you,
nah,
they know you're not going to change, and you're going to speak your mind. Yeah, that's good. So session starts this month, right?
Yep. We get sworn in, and a lot of people got to understand. I use we a lot because it's never about me. It's always a we thing. We get sworn in on January the 6th.
Okay.
Because it took all of us to get to where we're at now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what's the very first thing you're pushing when you get to Jackson?
Well, right now is I'm not gonna be able to hardly push anything, but the thing I am gonna look at is, we got the school choice bills coming up, the PERS coming up. We have a lot of things on the docket that's gonna affect a lot of us. But I always tell people like this, we get one vote, but with the school choice and the PERS and everything, I'm talking with a lot of our superintendents and school board members and just people that's in the system, because for me, calls coming in and everything. But that's the way it is. But a lot of people don't understand that when you become a political person, it's about sacrifice. And for me, I understand what Jesus did for us, but I'm willing to sacrifice myself for our people.
Absolutely.
Especially for District 24. Because like my wife and kids, they didn't ask for none of this.
Yes.
But now I'm giving time away from them to make sure we can have a better place for the county, the district.
Was there ever, before you even got into this, did you see some things that you thought, okay, look, this needs to change, this needs to be this? Like, what drove you in this direction? Like, what drove you into politics? Like, has it been a lifelong aspiration? Like, when did you get?
I think it was breadcrumbs dropping in just little stuff. I think, man, I can remember back when in 96, 97, when I was doing stuff with Mike Moore, we had to go to DC about Youth Crime Watch, about the drug task, about drugs in schools and everything, and then just working with Ms. Johnson with peer counsel, with then doing a tobacco-free, generation-free. It's like little stuff. Then becoming an alderman, a pope, and it was just little things. Because I always tell people, for me, I've never wanted to be a problem person. I just like to solve problems.
Absolutely.
And so I just feel like you can either be a part of the problem or help solve the problem. And I never wanted to be that person to be the problem. I want to help with it.
Okay. So what's your message to the people of District 24 that's watching this right now?
Job not done yet. If we can, I'm gonna tell y'all this. We were designed to be divided. But if we can learn to work together, we can achieve anything. I always tell you like this, if we can get like our body, think about this. If we didn't have our mind, we couldn't do anything. The mind controls everything. It tells the legs when to move. It sends a signal. So we have to send a signal to each other so we can move as one, and not all of us trying to go in 3,000 different directions. So if we can, District 24, once we work together, watch and see what happens. But you have a person here that no matter what, he's going to work with everyone and trying to make sure we get District 24 what it needs.
That sounds good. Well, you guys, that's the cold truth. Straight talk with Senator-elect Justin Pope. Appreciate you for coming in, man, and we'll be watching what you do in Jackson.
Man, appreciate you, man. But listen, just appreciate you taking the time and just trying to do something like this, because that speaks volume upon you. You didn't have to do this, and you letting people into your world too. So
Yes.
we just want to say thank you for allowing us to be a part of your story too.
I appreciate that. All right.